What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about US mains and are they possibly destroying the game of War Thunder. Real quick before we get too far into this video, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Only about 7% of my current viewers are subscribed, and it really helps out the channel and it means the world to me. So in today's video we're going to be discussing are US mains destroying War Thunder, and it seems to be a very common theme, especially in the past few months, that people complain nonstop about US mains and that they're ruining the game. And honestly, I do see where both sides come from. I understand the aspect of the US mains are ruining the game, and I understand the aspect of how they're not. Really, the big argument is that US mains complain nonstop, which results in the game being modeled to in a certain aspect. Example, when the F-15E and Su-34 came to the game, and the Su-34 had the Grom 2, or the Grom 1, whichever one, the one with the rocket booster, and US mains complained and got it removed. My honest opinion is the Grom 2 did not need to come to the game then. It was too advanced. But now that we have similar missiles in the Hammer for France, we can get the Grom 2 back. But as far as I'm concerned, it's yet to be announced or even discussed to be brought back, and it was removed due to US mains complaining. So I understand that aspect. Another aspect I understand is that US mains are oftentimes recognized as premium players who play nothing but premium aircraft. And yeah, US have probably the most amount of players buying premiums, and you have a lot of premiums to offer these players. The Clickbait, the F-20, the Harrier, the KVT. There's a lot of options for these players to play premium aircraft, and they oftentimes, are very low level. I understand the reason for hatred there. And another big thing that people complain about with US mains is the complaint about the Hornet. And that is, people complain that the US mains have the F-15E, but complain that we don't have the Hornet. And I want the Hornet in the game, don't get me wrong, but I understand where they're saying that other nations don't have as many aircraft that come to the game, and they don't have a top tier competitor with the F-15, and yet US mains complain. And where there's issues with this, levels of complaints, I do understand the points of view, and honestly, it just makes the game not very fun anymore. I personally prefer playing US vehicles. I have a lot of other nations grinded, but I do mainly play the US. I'm not going to deny that. That doesn't necessarily mean I enjoy playing the US right now. Honestly, I haven't really played a lot of US because it just isn't fun to be in games, and people basically blatantly almost every other game complain about US mains nonstop, and it's definitely frustrating when I just want to play a fun premium vehicle. There's a lot of premium US aircraft and US tanks that I enjoy playing, but if you play them, you're going to just be put into a group of low-level premium players who don't know what they're doing. Now, honestly, as far as destroying War Thunder goes, it definitely puts a damper in the game. You have half a group that complain nonstop about the US mains, which is not very fun for people who main the US. And then you have, low-level premium players that absolutely, don't know what they're talking about and say that the US is the greatest thing ever and that no other nation can compare, which isn't necessarily true. Now, obviously, if you're going off a realistic standpoint, the game isn't going to be balanced. I mean, you have a 2006 Su-27 SM that for a long time was inferior to the F-15C from the 80s. If we were going year by year, we'd already have the Raptor in the game. But that doesn't mean that people need to necessarily complain. Gaijin will add vehicles when they add vehicles. Don't get me wrong, I want the F-18 in the game. It's my favorite aircraft, and we'll get it when we get it. But people complaining about US mains is very frustrating. But I do understand the complaints, and it's hard for me to justify or unjustify any of it because it's all got valid points. US mains are sometimes a pain in the butt, don't get me wrong. They cause a lot of issues that we have in War Thunder, about especially the complaining about certain aspects of vehicles that lead to nerfs, or, you know, obviously the aspect of the U.S. is the greatest military nation, and they think it shouldn't even be close in competition. But I also, do agree with some of the things that I think we should have already gotten the Hornet. I do think, the game might have a little bit of bias in certain aspects of tanks, and I do think that the hate towards US mains isn't necessarily justified. Honestly, the only reason I'm making this video is to bring less hate to the game, and maybe just focus on what you guys like to play. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are down below in the comments. Do you guys think US mains are ruining the game, or do you think it's honestly just a bunch of people complaining for no reason? Let me know your thoughts are down in below. Make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. Feel free to join the Discord that's linked in the description, and feel free to join the WarThunder Squadron. Instructions are in the Discord. And I hope to see you guys in a later video.